What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Ep.1 of GameChanging Podcast, bro. I'm here, aka Mr. Sanctified, in the building with none other than my bro, Sammy the Great.
In the building, man. Y'all know what time Y'all stay tuned, man. We're going to be doing this once a week, man. We're excited for this new year. Hey, actually, matter of fact, we're actually doing this on Valentine's Day. No other better day than doing it on Valentine's Day.
Love day, baby.
You know what I'm saying? And the most important things you got to understand, out of all things that matter to us, the main thing that the best relationship you can have is a God relationship.
That's it, bro. That's it. And that's what we're going to touch base on today. Just kind of our testimony, who we are, who we came to be in this world, and who God called us to be, man. We ain't perfect by any means, but, you know, we've changed. God's reached out to us a lot. And that's it. That's all we want to do is just kind of spread the message of love, keep the peace, and let go of the hate, man.
This is actually going to be a fun subject because we're going to be talking about real life stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of things that a lot of people talk about behind the scenes. We're actually going to bring it in the scenes so y'all can be able to receive our opinions from two imperfect people trying to make life perfect.
That's it, bro. That's it. So, Sambo, I guess if you want to start it off and, you know, just give the people kind of an idea of who you were, the person that you used to be, the person that you are now.
Cool. So, like I said, me growing up, man, I was very blessed. You know, I had a mom and dad. You know, me growing up in a broken home. You know what I'm saying? I went through a lot of things in life, and like I said, I used to be a playboy. You know what I'm saying? I used to sell drugs when I was a youngster. I used to get into a lot of fights, but at the same time, I was doing my sports, and I always looked at me having the fancy material things to want to be somebody, but in reality, that slowed me down in life. Yeah. That's what got me into the drug addictions. That's what got me to fall off my sports. And at the same time, it was a bad and it was a good because at the end of the time, I didn't realize till I was 20 years old that I needed Christ in my life. Yeah. When I received Christ in my life at 20 years old, God started beginning to develop and more of my identity of who I was in Christ. Started to go into juveniles, started to go into prisons. I got my license to adopt kids and doing outreaches for the kids and starting to realize what it actually feels like to serve God and know how much of an impact we can have on the next generation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. And, you know, most people think that, oh, man, if you grew up in the hood, you from the hood or you know, you have to be raised to be that way, you know what I mean? Like, nah, bro, like sometimes those things just find you, you know, and you become susceptible to those things. And you know, don't get me wrong, you got people who, you know, grew up around it who are, you know, all day, every day, you know what I mean? But there's some times where, you know, people just, I've known people who call stone cold killers, you know what I'm saying, who doing time in jail that come from perfect families, mom and dad, you know, being raised up, and these guys are people who you would never think. You would never think these guys would be the way they are. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy because it's like you never know how someone's upbringing, you know, molded them to be who they are now. You know, a lot of people look at the cover of the book and they're so quick to judge, but without knowing all the pages that had to get filled in that book. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And so it's just crazy to me. You know, it's just crazy how people are so quick to look at you and you know the main thing that. You know, I know we always say is don't look up to us. Yeah. We're imperfect. You know what I mean? We're imperfect, like big time. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason why we are the way we are because you know we've been through so much. But you know, at the end of the day, don't look to us for gratification and for us to be your idol, you know what I'm saying? There ain't no man idol, you know? The one true idol is the one up above who's making all the plays happen, you know what I mean? And he making all the plays happen. He set this up right here. I mean, bro, like, how long we've known each other, bro?
I've been knowing Adam for already since he was 13 years old, 12 years old, and I'm 30 years old.
I'm 27, so, you know, that goes to show how long we've been knowing each other, and we come from the gutter for real, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, like I knew Brownie in the past, you know what I'm saying? Y'all may not know what that name is, but I do, you know? Come on. And that's the old testimony that, you know, it's just keep the real ones around when they're around because I promise you in the future everybody's around for a certain reason. And if you can't grow from somebody and you can't teach somebody, then y'all are just stuck, and you can't be around people like that. It's real unhealthy. You got to pay attention to your surroundings on who you're around. If you surround yourself with 10 millionaires, I promise you, you're gonna be the 11.
Come on, yeah.
I promise you, you're gonna be 11.
A lot of times in life, like you said, we want to be able to be accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a big subject in our life. A lot of people don't like to take accountability, even in relationships.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to own up when they're doing wrong things. And we got a choice. You either want to grow or you want to stay stuck and be prideful and let ego get in the way.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes a lot of relationships don't work out because, like I said, women, I love my women, man. I love y'all. But guess what, man? Y'all too thugging this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the Bible talks about the man, the woman is the rib to the man.
Absolutely.
So no matter what goes on, let the man be the man and let him lead you. And at the end of the day, you gotta trust in your spouse, whoever you choose to be. Pray for them as well.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They work hard, and we don't mind giving y'all anything and everything. But meet us halfway. A back rub comes a long ways.
Absolutely.
Like I said, a scripture comes a long ways. And hey, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Comes a long ways.
Yeah,
hey,
I will say, don't mean to cut you off, but I will say it's very important. It's very important. I've been with my wife 9 years. So we'll be 9 years this year, and that's almost a decade. And yeah, we've had our ups and downs, but it's always been 50-50 with everything. You know what I mean? Like, and just showing the gratitude and the love. Sometimes I have a long day at work, because I still work full time. And then I do this on the side, and I got a clothing business, and I got a taco business. So we're always busy and on the move. But just those little times where it's like, man, here's a plate to eat. I know you had a 12, 13-hour day, and oh man, I love you. I thank you for working hard. Those little things, like they don't seem as much, but those little things will keep me to wake up the next day to be like, man, I gotta go. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. It's that gratitude and that love that's very important. And yeah, I agree 100%. The ladies nowadays, man, it's just they thugging out here. They want to be like dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they want to try to play the game and run the game, and you can't do that, man. You can't do that. Not if you want to find a solid man who's gonna really take care of you and really do that. Now you got people out here. Don't get me wrong, who like that. They like that, and that's cool. If that's you, hey, more power to you, player. You know what I'm saying? But we from the old school. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We from the old school.
Like a submissive lady.
Yeah, submissive. You know what I mean? You know
Not
what I mean?
somebody that's all into the Instagram, the TikTok, the Snapchat. Oh my gosh. Use it for the right reasons, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, media has definitely made a big effect on a lot of relationships. And it takes a lot of communication, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Again.
Yeah, it takes a lot of what?
Communication.
Communication, bro.
Because like I said, a lot of people live in a matrix life, seeing things that are on the outside. It gets tempting, don't get me wrong. Like I tell a lot of people, it depends how you use your social media.
Yeah,
if you're going to use it, get on, write your positive note, and get out, clock out. Especially if you're young and beautiful people like us, and same thing like our ladies, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always a God thing, you know what I'm saying? And protect yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because the enemy's out here to what?
Kill, steal, and destroy, man.
Y'all gotta remember that. There is a devil at the same time. Yeah. There is a God. But at the same time, you gotta realize that, whenever, when a lot of people like to blame God. Hey, God, why this happened to me? Nah, sometimes it's not God.
Sometimes it's you. And sometimes it's you, because God done already told you. He done already told you, and you know when you get that voice in your head that's telling you, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this, or hey, this is probably not a good idea. But sometimes we get so stubborn-headed, we're just like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then, bam, now you got to deal with the repercussions of that. And every reaction has every action has a reaction. You know what I mean? It's either gonna be a good one or a bad one. Don't get mad at God and start pointing the finger at God when you created that bad action after He done told you. Keep your butt at home. You know what I mean? So and it's crazy, man, because a lot of people do that. I've seen that a lot where they just they always got a blame game. They like to play the blame game. Like, oh, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. No, man, it's your fault. It's your fault. Take accountability, man. Take accountability for your actions. You know what you were supposed to be doing. You know what you're not supposed to be doing. And that's, I think, is the hardest part about being human is is accepting accountability and actually,
Come on, man.
you know, doing what you need to be doing when you need to be doing it. You know what I mean?
The God thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It goes back to reflect on what he was talking about. A lot of times, here it goes again, that you want to choose the good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but is it the God thing?
Absolutely.
You know, you got to really reflect on that a lot of times. Even for us, as we're men, you know, we got flesh just like y'all ladies do.
Yeah.
And like I said, honor your man, when you see him trying, you know what I'm saying, and you see him trying to be a better man. Don't put him down. Don't discourage him, ladies. You know what I'm saying? A man you need to have his back as much as he has your back. So when you're falling, you can always have that relationship and encounter with your man to say, man, he always had my back. No matter if the temptation came, we communicated, and I let him, you know what I'm saying, have him once a week, sit down, talk about the things you battle. Same thing with him, you know, because it works on both ways. Yeah, we're both imperfect people. It's kind of hard to discuss with your spouse. You're like, man, why am I going to tell my spouse what I'm battling with?
Yeah.
But
Facts.
that's where your best relationship's going to come from.
Absolutely.
Whenever you to lock in and really lock in and say, this is my best friend right here.
Absolutely.
This is what I want to grow with.
And another thing is, you know, you don't want to let your pride and ego get in the way of your relationship, man. That if you can't be best friends with your spouse first before anything, then it's probably not going to be that good of a relationship. Because, I mean, coming from someone who's been through their ups and downs with their spouse and you know, it took us a long time to have that open communication to where, you know, I had to swallow my pride and ego and tell her how I really feel so we can work through it and talk about it. Same thing with her sometimes because, man, she could be stubborn-headed too. It's not just the fellas, but and it's not also just the women. You know, it goes both hand in hand. You know what I mean? And so it's not always just, you know, like I said, doing the blame game. You know, sometimes you just got to swallow your pride. Men,
come on,
and
man.
you know, that's so hard to do sometimes, but... Man, I tell you, it's worth it in the end, bro. It's worth it in the end to just swallow your pride, throw away the ego, and just have an open communication, man. And for women, too, if you're feeling a certain type of way, don't let your pride and ego and, I'm a boss bitch, man. You know, I already know how some of y'all women are, you know. Y'all can't be that way, you know, especially if you want a real man who's going to take care of you, because that's the problem that I'm seeing a lot in relationships these days is... I don't need no man. But you ain't got nothing going for yourself. How you gonna need no man? You ain't doing it on your own, but you depending on a man to do it for you. How does that make you a boss? You know what I mean?
Hey, here goes another thing, man. Good subject that you brought that up, man. I mean, just reflecting again on that. I mean, ladies, you got a beautiful body, but like he was saying, but what do you have for yourself besides just a beautiful body?
Yeah, facts.
That is God's temple at the end of the day. You got to deal with the consequences whenever, like we were talking about right now. Yeah, you know, I'm a boss B. I got you do got the goods. You know what I'm saying? But what else do you got besides the goods?
Yeah.
What do you got to bring to the table? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Especially if you trying to get with a real boss. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who gonna recognize that and be like, oh nah, this is all you offering me? Nah, I'm good. You know, I can get that anywhere all day, every day. You know, that ain't nothing. But you know, ladies, you gotta put yourself on a higher pedestal than just being like that. You know what I mean? If you really want to be a boss up. Come with something to the table. You know what I mean? Exactly. And if you not, then get with a man who's gonna guide you the right way and to help you get there. You know what I'm saying? Because there's men out there who are willing to do that. You know, who are willing to help mold you and guide you to the boss that they know you can become. You know what I mean? But you gotta allow that. You gotta allow that with the ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? With the ups and downs, bro. I've seen it and I've done it, and it's just and fellas, stop ruining it for the men. Like my boy saying, stop ruining it for the men that are out here really trying to love on a woman and really treat them like a queen. Because man, y'all be making it hard for people out here, bro. Like for real. Like I ain't gonna sit here and knock nothing. I used to be a player in the game too, and I used to be there, done that, did that. You know what I mean? But still, at the end of the day, I chose to be different because I got tired of doing the same thing. It's a nasty habit and a nasty pattern that just keeps going and going and going. and you destroying women out here, bro. And then they come around a real man who's trying to show them different. They don't want to hear it because they so used to being screwed over and lied to and taken advantage of. And man, you gotta stop, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who y'all is. Trying to live off these women, man. Get your butt up and get a job, bro. Go do something with yourself, man, instead of depending on a woman, bro.
Yeah.
See, come on, bro. That ain't no boss. That ain't player stuff, bro. Come on, dog.
Y'all gotta learn. Y'all gotta learn. Same thing like my ladies. Like I said, y'all putting these men in that temptation. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Hey, there's really good men out here trying to do right. And a lot of women like to say, man, I want a good man, but at the same time, look how you're putting your structure to that man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're making them fall in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it causes division in families and destroying families and stuff like that. Shout out to all the ones that are trying to do it right. But man, also the ones OnlyFans, man, y'all gotta let that go. OnlyFans, you know what I'm saying? Let God be your OnlyFans. Let God be your OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? I used to battle. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I come across things and like I said, I was tempted, but I know what I'm saying, what I wanted. So thank God that, you know what I'm saying, I ain't buy into it, you know what I'm saying, I'm able to sell my life back out to Christ and say, you know what, that's not what I want for my life. Yeah. And she does that to this guy, imagine how many other guys that she's doing it to. And ladies, how you gonna find real love when you got 50 other men that you can't even settle down with one? When it comes down to all these men now, to 50 men that now are, you know what I'm saying, building that relationship with you, because you have to talk to them for one, to be able to have them as your clientele. That's what I'm gonna call it. That's your clientele. You know what I'm saying? So you can't call it a relationship whenever you got him as a clientele. So you can never find a real man, you know what I'm saying, that, like I said, that you're not even trying to build a relationship or not even having God in the center of that relationship. You know what I'm saying? So ladies, man, we gotta tighten up the season. I know we all need money, but man, there's no better way than the old-fashioned way. Yeah, get a job, man. Get a job. It don't gotta be the best job in the world, man. I accept a woman that working at McDonald's, Burger King. A car saleswoman. You know what I'm saying? A lawyer, whatever she comes with it, man. I honor that because you know what? It takes a lot of pride to actually want to go get a job and be somebody. You know what I'm saying? And get it. You know what I'm saying? Get it like the way us men do. Yeah. A hard. What do we say? Hard. Blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, man, it is the truth. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that's just my discussion for there, man. God got big plans for y'all. A lot of our music that's been coming out, we actually got a lot of new music coming out, y'all. We stopped for a little while, but glory to God, man. We're actually coming back, and we're coming back for the youth. And not only for the youth, it's coming for the adults, because, there is a feeling now that we're grown now, y'all. And we're here to get back to our generation and the next generation and the next generation to speak life over y'all. If God did it for us, He's going to do it for y'all. When He said 2 and 1 are gathered, there He is in the midst. There you go. Mark 5:36, He told us, so don't be afraid. He said, only believe. So if you believe in that God got someone solid for you, hey, trust in God. A house that stays with prayer, you know what I'm saying? They will be in prayer forever. Yeah. It will never go void. You know what I'm saying? That community, that relationship always gonna go stronger, y'all. Absolutely. So y'all stay tuned, man. We actually got a lot of upcoming stuff coming up. Yeah. Clothing stuff coming out. New music coming out. Clothing. Music. Podcasting. You're gonna see a lot of different artists. We're gonna come and really ask certain questions. So if y'all have anything that y'all wanna shoot in the DMs, and we're gonna edit this, like I said, but it's gonna be pretty cool, y'all. If you have anything that y'all want us to bring onto the next subject for the next time, man, y'all drop in the comments down low. Drop in the DMs, man. Y'all don't be ashamed, man. Whatever y'all need prayer for, we're actually we're opening up this up to also have prayer for y'all. Absolutely. So don't be ashamed. You know what I'm saying? If you have some deep stuff going on in your life, you want to ask us personal questions, we can always DM you in your messages and give your honest opinion. Like I said, we ain't God, but our main source is God. Absolutely. So we surround ourselves with God. And like I said, if you surround yourself around with godly people, you know what I'm saying, you'll be covered by the blood of Jesus. But it doesn't mean, hey, we're only going to hang around with these godly people, y'all. Just because you're hanging in the road, I'm sorry, we're going to cut you off. No, we came from that lost world before. Absolutely. So we're going to believe in y'all just the way that the people believed in us, and as Christ believed in us. Absolutely, man. And like he said, doesn't mean that we always just going to be surrounded by godly people, man. Sometimes we come from brokenness. We come from that lost side of the world, and so we're used to going back in there and trying to reach out to people and things of that nature, man. So don't be afraid to be different around people that you usually ain't different around.
You know, don't be afraid to go out and try to just talk to somebody, give somebody a word of encouragement, bro. Because you never know when they need it. Sometimes, you know, people come across your way and you know, they need that. They need that. And God put that person in your way for a specific reason, you know. So pay attention, keep your eyes open to things of that. You know, be in the word, be positive, you know, speak love, not hate, man. And congratulate, don't play a hate. You know what I'm saying? And that's it, man. That's it. That's the end of our first episode. And you know, Sanctified, we out of here.
Simon the Gray in the building. Whole lot of blessed things going on.
Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. And if you got any other topics that you want to talk about, please drop them on the comments below.
Bless life.
Peace.
Peace.